Let's go Tyler's back with the live review of WrestleMania 41. Before I talk about it, the Raw and SmackDown reviews, I'm gonna take a break from them. They're not kept gone for good. They're gonna be on the back burner for now because, well, one, I'm gonna get a new computer because this. Let me take this off and show you. This is like getting really old and stuff like that. Now other videos, Scooby-Doo, the other WWE crossover one, that'll be on Tuesday. Thursday on my secondary channel, subscribe to the notification bell on that one, and also welcome to live chat, by the way. You will see TNA Lockdown 2005, going back to that one, 20 years later. Oh my god. And Wednesday will be episode 70 something of Showdown. I forgot what number it is, but still. Is on the road to Internal Ascendant, which it's basically WCW's version of Backlash, the post WrestleMania show, but it's the post Night of Glory pay-per-view event. So there. Yeah. WrestleMania 41. Some stuff I like, some of them I'm like this. But anyways, April's 19th and 20th on Easter, by the way. Happy Easter to everyone watching this, by the way. It was a Raw and SmackDown fan at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. The last time WrestleMania was in Vegas was WrestleMania 9, which I did that earlier this month, and the less I said about WrestleMania 9, the better. Although it was a cool setting and all that, but the period overall was awkward, really. So yeah, we're gonna do night 1 first, and then night 2 after, and so yeah, I'm not gonna go through all the what matches are on the card and change matches on the line. I'm gonna stop doing that because that's James from Mere Pro Wrestling who did that, and also the best and worst matches on the show. I'm stop doing that also because I don't care really. So let's talk about this, and let's just hope this doesn't crap out on me, okay? First up, we're going to start with night 1, and then we'll go to night 2. First off, for night 1, the opener is for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I couldn't say that's going to happen. But yeah, Jey Uso defeats Gunther by submission to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah. Was it a good match? Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, you're glad Gunther lost, but Jey Uso lost to Gunther 3 times, and now 4 times was the charm for him. Although this was a good opener to start off WrestleMania. A 7 out of 10, I give it. And then Jay and Jimmy hug it out, and yeah. So we know who's the Booker T of this team and who's the Stevie Ray of this team. Because we all know 25 years ago, Booker T won his first WWE champion, while Stevie Ray was, let's just say, winding down in his wrestling career. But anyways. Next up is for the World Tag Team Championships. The New Day defeats the War Raiders to win the World Tag Team Championships. New Day finally broke their losing streak of WrestleMania. Yeah. Why was this on WrestleMania? It could have been something else, really. 3 out of 10, I'll give it. It was just there. Before we'll hold on that women's tag title VS or something. TNQ partner, how are you, Tyler? How are you? I'm doing good, thanks. for joining, by the way. And then we get Jade Cargill defeating Naomi. Naomi is basically a jobber now. And yeah, this was another match that should not be on WrestleMania. You thought it was okay? I thought the match fucking sucked. One. So, yeah. Anyways, next up is for the WWE United States Championship. Jacob Fatu defeats LA Knight to win the United States Championship. You know, pretty good match. Jacob Fatu had some potential. Let's be fair here. And yeah, this was a good match. I think it was better than the opener for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then Jacob Fatu, happy for Fatu, good match. Yeah, good match. Werewolf emojis. And then afterwards, Jacob Fatu got greeted by Meng, or Haku, for you all to know. Which, I didn't know it was Meng. No, that was Meng at first, but yeah. Getting really old there. But he's still a legit badass. 8 out of 10, good match. Okay, now let's get to the two big elephants in the room. Now, this was originally supposed to be Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, which is fucking Chad Gable underneath a mask. But last Friday on SmackDown, Rey Mysterio got hurt. And his replacement was Rey Fenix. Just a random fucking match. And yeah. Five out of 10. Just why? Then we get this for the WWE Women's Championship. Tiffany fucking Stratton to face Charlotte. I'm sorry, the wrong person won. Charlotte won. I think this is her worst performance. Because if this was Charlotte versus Nia, it wouldn't be better. I could get this better if Charlotte won. Charlotte won. And I'm sorry, Tiffany's not ready for this. Fuck off. Sorry, if you don't like me cursing, why the fuck are you watching this? Anyways, then we get the main event of night 1. And this was probably the best match on the first night of WrestleMania. WrestleMania Saturday, apparently now. Seth Rollins defeats CM Punk and Roman Reigns. This was a great triple threat match. And I kind of knew Paul Heyman was going to turn on not only CM Punk, but Roman Reigns. Like Heyman as a heel. Yeah. I kind of knew Paul Heyman was going to turn on the two of them. He gives the chair to Punk. And he hits Punk in the family jewels. Then Roman was going to hit Seth. And Paul Heyman hit Roman Reigns in the family jewels. And Pat McAfee calls him a piece of garbage. Or Michael Cole, one of the two. That is great telling right there. And 9.5 out of 10 for the main event night 1. Anyways, let's go on to WrestleMania Sunday, which is here. WrestleMania 41, the event was too many low balls. Well, I prefer that's right in the family jewels. So there's that. Kicking it off with another triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. Again, if this was just Rhea and Bianca, it would have been fucking boring. But this triple threat between Io, Bianca, and Rhea, better. So many of these kind of matches. I agree. Io won to retain by pinning Bianca Belair, so her stupid ass undefeated streak is over. Thank fucking God. You know, I give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah. But yeah, thank the fuck Bianca or Rhea did not win this fucking match. But yeah. Okay, so far, no crapping. Thank God. They're gonna Sin City Street Fight. Drew McIntyre defeats Damian Priest. Drew finally defeated Damian Priest. You know why? There was no CM Punk in this situation. This was a really fun street fight. Hardcore type matches I really like to see. You know why my action figure shows I always do these kind of matches? I should do these more often nowadays. But yeah. Fun street fight. 8 out of 10. And yeah. Anyways, then we get a fatal 4 match for the Intercontinental Championship. And shockingly, Dominic Mysterio won, defeating Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta to win the Intercontinental Championship. Dominic joins his father as one of the few father-son duos to win any title, which is the Intercontinental Championship. As we know, Rikishi and Jey Uso are the other father-son duo I can think of have won the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, the fans were actually cheering Dominic winning the title. Like, yeah. It was actually pretty good. So I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think everyone was shocked. Yeah. Okay, now we get to another. Now, this was supposed to be Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, but we don't know what happened with Kevin Owens. He had a neck injury. On the post-show, Dawn was over with the fans. Potential babyface turn down the road? Why not? But we don't know what happened with Kevin Owens. He had a neck injury, and he had successfully having there. So Orton had an open challenge. And the person who answered Orton's open challenge is TNA's Joe Hendry, the world champion. And I'm sorry. What the fuck was this? Orton won the match. You couldn't let TNA get a rub by having their world champion beat a legend like Randy Orton? No, you have Randy Orton bury him. And then afterwards, he gets RKO after the match. Is he from Las Vegas? I don't know. This is the worst match on the one of the two nights. A 0 out of 10. When the draft comes, put Orton on Raw. I'm sorry, Orton should go to Raw. And then we get Logan fucking Paul defeats AJ Styles. Because Karrion Kross screwed him over. This has to be one of AJ Styles' worst matches in WWE he had. It's either this or that 6-person tag at Hell in a Cell 2022. AJ, please, go back to SmackDown. You're wasted on Raw again. Go back to SmackDown. The same guy last week defeated Goldberg to win the world title, loses to a fucking piece of shit like Logan Paul. 3 out of 10. This has fucking AJ Styles in it. And this is a 3 out of 10. Why? Okay, now I get to the other elephant in the room. Now, originally the women's tag team titles were supposed to be Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Lyra Valkyria, who is the women's Intercontinental Championship, and Bayley. Well, during night one's countdown show, Bayley gets attacked. This is not a legit injury, by the way. It's a kayfabe injury. As soon as I knew Bayley was getting taken out of the match and Lyra was getting a replacement partner, the first person I think in my mind is, it's going to be Becky Lynch. And to the surprise of nobody, it was Becky Lynch. I'm glad to see her back. As her and Lyra defeated Liv and Raquel to win the Women's Tag Team Championships, and Karma bit Liv in the ass of that Jezebel. I learned that from Jim Ross. One of my favorite commentators ever, with him and Jerry Lawler. They're my favorite commentary duo. Do you think Becky attacked Bayley? Let's not do that whole thing again, who attacked who. But yeah. Becky's back. Glad to see her back. A 6 out of 10 I'll give it. But yeah. And then finally, the final main event for the WWE Championship. John Cena defeats Cody Rhodes to win the WWE Championship. Yeah, Lyra's a double champion, by the way. Thanks for reminding me. I didn't think it was as good as the night one main event between the Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman. Punk finally get the main event of WrestleMania, even though it was one of them. But technically, it still was a main event. Yeah, we all know Cena was going to win. He's a 17-time world champion, and great match. Cena and Cody don't have that much matches, but when they do, they have great chemistry together. Where's The Rock? He did a thing at Chamber. Let's move on. He will lose it quickly. When the draft happens, put AJ Styles back on SmackDown and have him be the one to dethrone John Cena. But honestly, it should have been AJ Styles who should have dethroned Cody Rhodes in the summer. But yeah, John Cena is a 17-time champion. That would be good. Please, AJ and John have great chemistry together. John Cena and CM Punk have great chemistry together. But why am I using quotation marks? Because Ric Flair is technically not a 16-time champion. He's to have more titles. Like the idea. Yeah. Travis Scott got involved, but he got Crossroads. That's karma getting to him. What happened to it? What happened at Elimination Chamber, by the way? But yeah, 8.5. It could have been better, but yeah. Cena won by hitting Cody in the Family Jewels and hit him with the belt, and he won the title like that. There was a ref run from Chad Patton, by the way, twice. But yeah. Mania 41 overall, it could have been better. Like I said before, the last great WrestleMania was WrestleMania 20. But we all know WWE does not want us to remember the final moment for obvious reasons with Benoit and Eddie. But I still will remember the moment. But there, this WrestleMania has some good stuff, but some what the fuck stuff here, and two wrong winners also, and a few people who should not have won. Still, one of the best final moments of WrestleMania was 20. Yeah, I agree with you, T and Couponer. Anyways, I know WrestleMania 20 is my favorite pay-per-view of all time. I know about Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, but is it as bad as people said it is? I still think Randy Orton, the Fiend from 37, was the worst WrestleMania match of all time. To me, at least. I know a lot of people are going to say Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, but what the fuck do you expect with that? So yeah, 7 out of 10 I'll give it. If you're that, or 6 point, I'll get a 6.8 out of 10, really. Still there. Again, the Raw and SmackDown reviews, we'll get back to those some point because I am exhausted from live reviews. They're gonna have to take a break. A break, not cutting that off. But still. probably some point during the summer when I do SummerSlam reviews. And there. So I'll see you for. I'll probably do Scooby-Doo, the one with those cars in that. The Curse of the Speed Demon. I think that's the one it was. Yeah, and that's Undertaker in it also. But there. Like this video, comment below, subscribe to. Have a good night. Thank you, T and Couponer. And also subscribe to this channel right here, and also my secondary channel, Tyler's Retro Review, so you will see on Thursday Lockdown 2005 from TNA. And we'll move on from there. Bye-bye.